The movie begins with Yelena carrying out a mission that she was sent to carry out. She jumps into a building and fights her way through all the guards. She is about to blow up the whole lab, when a doctor points a gun at her. They fight, and the doctor ends up shooting himself by mistake. After she has gone far from the lab, she blows it up and reports that her mission is complete. Bucky, who is now a congressman, goes to court for the impeachment hearing of the director of the CIA, Valentina de Fontaine, based on rumors that she has been conducting experiments to make her own superhumans. Valentina rejects these claims and says that anything she has done in her capacity is in the best interest of the American citizens, and the court tells her that they would continue the investigation. Someone knocks on Alexei's door, and he immediately freshens up, as he found out that it is Yelena. He welcomes her and tells her that he has been busy with work. She opens up to him about wanting to stop working with Valentina, because she doesn't feel too good about the job. He advises her to work in a more public role instead of working in the shadows. She brings this up on a call with Valentina, and Valentina promises that she would make it happen if she completes this mission. The mission is to find out what the target wants to rob and to kill the target after. At the location, she finds some documents and keeps them. Then she meets John, who she did not expect to see there, trying to kill her. She is confused and tells him that he is not her target, but he says she is his own target. As they're fighting, Taskmaster attacks John, and when Yelena tries to fight her, she says she's not here for her. Ghost, who is actually Yelena's target, shows up and attacks Taskmaster, and when Yelena attacks her, she also says that she is not there for her. What is actually going on? Taskmaster beats Ghost and goes to kill John, who is fighting Yelena, but Ghost appears in front of her and shoots her in the head. They are all distracted by a man in pajamas, who tries to run when he sees them, but the doors close, trapping all of them inside. Elsewhere, at an event hosted by Valentina, Congressman Gary tells her that the investigation came up squeaky clean, as though someone had actually cleaned everything up. She counters that if it appears clean, it is only because she is actually innocent. Bucky approaches Valentina's PA, hoping to get her to turn on Valentina and share any secret that could help them. They ask the man who he is, and he introduces himself as Bob. Yelena finds out that Valentina set them up to kill each other, but the others do not want to believe her. They ask Bob how he got in, and Bob says he doesn't remember, as he just found himself there. Ghost says she has had enough and tries to phase out of the room, but she is disrupted by sound waves, and they find out that they can't leave. Bucky corners Gary and tells him he has a lead, but Gary tells him to let the system do its job. Valentina tells Mel to torch the place that Yelena and the others are in, but after she notices some hesitation from Mel, she does it by herself. The lights go off where Yelena and the others are, and a timer starts. In order to find the sound barrier and destroy it, they work together so that Ghost can go outside and open the door for them. It works, and with about 3 seconds to go, they escape. Yelena becomes unconscious and revisits a memory of her childhood, where she lured her best friend to be killed as a test, and she notices Bob in the memory. Mel tells Valentina that they escaped the fire and shows her footage of them working together. Valentina notices Bob in the footage and asks Mel to identify him and find out how he got into the impenetrable place. She also asks her to get people to finish the job. The driver is revealed to be Alexei. John asks Bob for the truth about how he got into the place, and he swears that he just woke up and found himself there. Bob confronts John about being a jerk, and he pins him to the wall. Yelena intervenes and takes Bob aside to tell him that they have to work together to make it to the surface. Ghost and John find a way through the wall. Bucky gets a call from Mel, and they have a conversation about Valentina. After the conversation, she tells him to track her phone. When they go through the wall, Bob suggests a way to go up that involves all of them. Mel reports her findings about Bob, informing Valentina that he was a part of the Sentry project. Every other person that went through the Sentry project was dead, and if he survived it, it's very possible that their experiments worked. They get to the top and realize they didn't think it through, as it would be hard to leave that position without falling. While they were still thinking of the next move, they notice that Bob is about to sneeze, so John tries something dangerous that almost makes Bob fall, if not for the intervention of Yelena. John pulls them up one by one, and when he grabs the hand of Bob, he is taken into a memory of his where he was having an argument with his wife. They open the door and find out that there are armed people waiting to kill them. Ghost disappears, and Yelena comes up with a plan. Yelena and Bob go to turn the power back on, but it did not work. John, who was supposed to wait for them, fought some of the soldiers who had come in and appeared to be gone. Yelena fights some of the soldiers with Bob behind her, and one of the soldiers was actually John in disguise. They wear the soldier's uniform and go out without anyone suspecting. When they get out, a vehicle pulls up behind them, and it was Ghost that was in it, waiting for them. They try to drive out, and they get stopped at a checkpoint, telling them to identify themselves. Bob, at the back of the vehicle, notices that they would be caught, so he goes out, takes a gun, and causes a distraction for them to leave. The soldiers see him as a threat, and so they shoot him continuously, until Valentina tells them to cease fire. Yelena sees this and tells John to continue driving, as there is nothing they can do. Bob stands up with not even a scratch on his body and notices that he is flying. When he gets above the clouds, he loses consciousness and falls so heavily that he causes a blast wave. The blast wave throws the truck away, and they have to leave on foot. Yelena shares the document that she got with them, showing them that they actually planned the Sentry project. Valentina gets Bob transported to New York and asks Mel to find a way to get rid of Yelena and the others, since they're the last piece of evidence. Yelena and the others go through the desert, and when she notices a vehicle coming their way, she tells them to duck. She notices that it's Alexei and is embarrassed. Alexei takes them in the car and tries to get them to form a team and work together as Thunderbolts. They don't entertain the idea because they are being hunted by Valentina and want to split up. Speaking of being hunted, John looks back and sees some vehicles coming towards them. The vehicles begin to shoot at them, and Ghost goes to do her thing, but they came prepared. Yelena climbs out and shoots once, and the vehicle tumbles. She realizes that her shot did not do that, so she goes back into the car. Another explosive is thrown on the other vehicle, and it tumbles too. Bucky comes out from the smoke and brings down the third vehicle. Alexei and the others are happy that someone has come to their rescue, until he shoots one of the explosives and tumbles their car. Valentina gets to the watchtower, which was formerly the Avengers Tower, and goes to see Bob. She introduces herself, and Bob remembers the name as the person that wanted to kill them. She calms him down, and he asks about Yelena, but she tries to pit him against them. She reveals things about his past which he didn't think she should know. She tells him that she knows all about his past and still chooses him, as it's his past that makes him so perfect. While trying to emotionally connect with him, she holds his hand, and she is drawn into a memory of hers where she witnesses her father being killed as a child. She comes out of the memory and excuses herself, but before she leaves, Bob tells her that he can control the powers. She comes out of the office and tells Mel to remake the kill switch which they had destroyed before. She also asks Mel to get the press there. Bucky captures them and places handcuffs on them. When they ask why, he tells them that they are evidence against Valentina. They try to explain, but he doesn't believe them. He gets a call from Mel, who is panicking, telling him to come get her and unknowingly corroborating their story. He now believes them and takes off the handcuffs, telling them that they're coming with him to help stop her. Yelena tells him that they're the wrong people to ask to be heroes, and Bucky gives a convincing speech which changes their mind. Mel receives a lecture from Valentina about loyalty as she gets the kill switch by herself. She trains Bob, and he is shocked that he is able to do that. She encourages him that he can do everything, and she is the only one who can see his real potential. They arrive at the building and begin to fight the guards stationed there, but Valentina announces through the speaker that the fighting wasn't necessary, as she was expecting them and left the door open. They go up to meet her, and she makes fun of the fact that their coming together was because she sent them to kill each other. Bucky tries to attack her, but his hand is not able to get to her, and she announces that she's not alone. She calls Bob and introduces him as Sentry, who is invincible and more powerful than all the Avengers combined. She reveals her plan to make the press witness Bob taking down a group of rogue agents, which would make her impeachable. She gives Sentry his first mission, to take them down. He tells them that he doesn't want to hurt them and that they should just turn themselves in. Alexei, hungry for some action, charges in, and they all begin to fight. They are unable to touch him, and even when they do, it doesn't affect him. He is also able to stop bullets, bend metal, and move faster than Ghost. After beating them all, Bucky takes off his shirt and goes back for more. He punches with his stronger arm, but it does nothing to Sentry. He catches the arm, pulls it off, throws him away, and throws it away. They pick him up to run away. Valentina tells him to kill them, but he refuses, since they are not a threat to him. She reminds him that he has to do what she says, and he asks her why. They get downstairs, and Alexei suggests that they regroup and go back to fight, but they all shut him down. He tells them that they are the Thunderbolts, so they should work as a team. Yelena, frustrated, lashes out at everyone and tells everyone to go their own way. Alexei chases her. Sentry doesn't think he should be answerable to anyone because he thinks of himself as a god, since Valentina told him that he is stronger than all the Avengers, which included a god. She realizes that he has become self-aware and is about to press the kill switch, but he pins her to the wall, and the kill switch falls. He says that she was just going to turn on him like the rest of them and is about to kill her when Mel steps in and presses the kill switch. She tells Mel to send the cleanup team and go legal on the Thunderbolts. As they leave, Bob's body is overshadowed with darkness, and his eyes open. Alexei continues chasing Yelena, but she tells him to give up. She tells him that if he cared, he would have called, at least when she lost her sister. He apologizes for not being there and tells her that he is there now. She opens up that she is so alone, and he encourages her and tells them that they need each other. They notice people looking up at something, and they go to look. They see Sentry, but a sentry with darkness, the void. Some soldiers attack, and he just turns them to shadows. Other soldiers in helicopters show up, and he does the same thing to them. This makes the helicopter crash into buildings and start falling on the people. Alexei runs to save the people, and Yelena joins him. Bucky, Ghost, and John also help to save some people, and the Thunderbolts are united again. The people applaud them while Valentina watches. Alexei saves a little girl and tells her she is safe, but she is turned into a shadow. They see the void, and everyone starts running away, everyone except for Yelena, who goes towards the darkness and is turned into a shadow. She opens her eyes in the same memory she saw before. This time, she tried to stop it, but is beaten and held to watch it. She cuts loose and runs towards another memory where they were being taught to assemble a gun. She covers the ears of her past self and sees Bob in the mirror. She takes a gun, shoots the mirror, and jumps into it, hoping to get to Bob, but it takes her to another memory where she was drunk. She calls out to Bob, saying it's enough, and she sees him in another mirror. Instead of breaking it this time, she tells him that she wants to talk, and he lets her come in. He explains to her that there are some good days and some bad days, and the void represents the bad days. She asks him if he just wants the void to take over, and he says there's no use fighting, since he found a nice room. She notices that beneath the room is a memory of his abusive father. She comforts him and convinces him that they can find a way out of there together. Objects start flying around the room, trying to hurt them, and they keep dodging until a curtain is tied around their necks. They can't do anything about it, but the team comes to save them. They all try to find a way out, so they run from memory to memory until they get to the location where the experiment took place. The figure on the table was the void, and when they tell him that they're leaving, he locks them down. Bob tries to fight the void, but the void is stronger. The void tells him that they will always be alone and pushes the team back, which makes Bob angry. He pushes the void to the ground and punches him continuously. The more Bob punches, the more he is consumed by the darkness. Alexei finds a way to make Yelena loose, and she goes through every obstacle to get to Bob. She gets there and stops him from being consumed by the void. The whole team join hands and get him off the void, and the void is destroyed. The whole city comes back to normal, and all the people turned into shadows return. They see Valentina making a call for extraction, and they go to capture her, but it is a trap luring them to the press. Valentina announces that she had been working secretly to develop a new age of protection that the citizens of America got when they needed it. She introduces them as the new Avengers. Yelena goes to her ear to tell her that they own her now. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Bye.